You know, we hear these ancient proverbs all the time, and we kind of think, yeah, I get that. But what if there are these incredible layers of meaning just hiding in plain sight right there in the original language? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're taking one single, super familiar verse from the book of Proverbs, and we're going to pull it apart word by Hebrew word to see the incredible genius that's just baked right in.
And here it is, Proverbs 20, verse 12. I'm sure you've heard it before. It seems really straightforward, right? An ear that hears, an eye that sees. God made them. It's a simple statement about creation. But as you're about to find out, the original Hebrew, man, it tells a way more dynamic and interesting story.
So what if we just stop and ask a question for a second? What if this isn't just some basic statement? What if every single word in the original was picked with surgical precision to build a concept, something way richer than what our English Bibles can really capture? That's the journey we're going on right now.
All right, so let's dive in. We're going to start with the first half of this Proverb's really elegant parallel structure, the hearing ear. This first little bit really sets the stage for the whole thing.
Okay, so the first word we've got to look at is ozen, which is the Hebrew for ear. Now, literally, yeah, it's the physical thing on the side of your head. But conceptually, woo, it's way bigger than that. In the proverb, it's being presented as this primary gateway for information. It's how we take in the world around us. And this is it's a brilliant move, right? The proverb starts with something totally concrete, an ear, and immediately elevates it into a symbol. It's not just about a body part. It's about the entire faculty of receiving and thinking about what you're hearing. It takes this big, abstract idea and grounds it in something you can literally point to.
But here's the real kicker. It's in the word for hearing, shomaʄat. See, in Hebrew, this is what's called an active participle. And that's just a fancy way of saying it's all about continuous, ongoing action. This isn't talking about an ear that can hear. No, it's talking about an ear that is actively and habitually hearing. It's on, it's working, it's paying attention right now.
Okay, now let's hop over to the second half, and you're going to see how this just builds. The verse perfectly mirrors that first phrase, creating this beautiful, powerful symmetry. It's time to check out the seeing eye.
So just like we had ozen for the ear, we now have ein for the eye. And guess what? The logic is exactly the same. Of course, it's the physical organ of sight, but more than that, it's being presented as the doorway for our perception, for gaining insight by actually observing. And you gotta see how important this parallel is. Just like the ear, the ayin is being upgraded from just a body part to a symbol for active observation. The proverb is deliberately putting sight and hearing side by side, as the two main channels we use to understand our world.
And bam, there it is again, that same grammatical trick. The word for seeing is ro'a, and it's another one of those active participles. Just like the hearing ear, this is not an eye that just passively receives light. It's an eye that is actively and competently observing. It's not just a passive camera, it's an eye that's on the job.
Okay, so we've got this actively hearing ear and this actively seeing eye. Awesome. But who's the one behind it all? Who's the subject of this sentence? Well, this is where the verse totally pivots and points directly to the source of these incredible active abilities. And the subject, the one doing the action, is YHW, the personal name for God in the Hebrew Scriptures. By putting the divine name right here, the proverb grounds this whole idea about our senses in the divine creative order. The point is, these senses aren't some random cosmic accident. No, they're presented as a deliberate gift from a very specific creator.
And that brings us to the verb asa, which means made. And again, the grammar here is absolutely key. The verb is in what's called the perfect tense. Now, in Hebrew, that doesn't just mean something happened in the past. It means it's a done deal, a completed action with results that are still in effect today. The Creator has made them. It's a finished, established work. It's like saying our senses are hardwired into the design of reality.
All right, so let's recap. We've got the two parallel ideas, the ear and the eye, and we have the divine creator who made them. But how does the verse tie it all up with a bow? Well, it all comes down to the last two little words.
First up is the word gam. You might see it translated as also, but really it's packing more of a punch here, like indeed, or you better believe it. It's stressing that both of these faculties are fully and equally part of this. And then to lock it all down, you get shenihem, which means both of them. It's like this final numerical stamp that says, yep, this applies to both, no exceptions. It just slams the two ideas together into one solid truth.
So when you lay it all out like this, man, you really see the incredible precision, don't you? You've got the ozen, that is shomaʿat, an ear that's actively functioning, then the ayin, that is ra'ah, an eye that's busy observing, and they are both the completed work asa of Yahweh. And this truth applies emphatically, gam, to Shanahan, both of them. I mean, come on, that's just a little masterpiece of writing right there.
So at the end of the day, what we're left with is so much deeper than where we started. This isn't just about God making eyeballs and eardrums. It's about where our ability to actively perceive and discern the world comes from. And that kind of has to leave us with a pretty big question, right? If our senses are these incredible, active gifts from a creator, then what does that say about our responsibility for what we choose to see and what we choose to hear?